What's up? And I am here to introduce my favorite band, Muna.
Hi.
Hey. What's up? What'd you guys have for breakfast?
Huh.
Bagel.
I had overnight oats, which is
Real ones.
Yeah.
a change.
I had a smoothie. I was with you at breakfast time.
Yeah.
I had a smoothie.
You had a burrito.
Oh,
Or
wow.
am I lying?
Cool.
Oh, that's true.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody like smartly ate beforehand. But I've been doing this thing where I've been eating breakfast like a couple hours. You got me
Yeah,
onto that.
I do that.
Yeah.
Let's really get into this. This is what we're here to talk about.
I mean, we could and we do.
Wait, you mean like a couple hours into the day?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
usually eat around like well, you sometimes eat earlier now.
I'm free.
I get up.
I eat at like 11. I eat at like 11 or 12.
I get up. I drink like a large amount of oat milk
Plain.
She drinks it
Plain.
She takes the
from
jug.
the carton.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
then-
anyway.
Yeah.
To take us back in time, you guys met at a USC party. Josette
False.
was apparently really drunk and wearing a fedora.
No.
Okay, well, actually,
This is
partially
this
true.
is
That's partially
almost true.
Why?
Why was I wearing a fedora? I thought it
Why?
was a choice.
great question.
Okay, it was my grandfather's hat, and I was drunk.
Fuck off. Okay, come on.
I was drunk.
A foolproof defense.
Yeah. It was his hat, and he is no longer with us.
Was that a party or was that a
it
house
was at a
with five
It was
people?
a house. I already knew Katie. Katie was setting Naomi and I up to be friends.
Yeah.
I would call what we were at a kickback.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
barely anybody. But me and this other person we were friends with showed up shit-faced. Oh, I meant not alcohol. I'm not. Are we allowed to cuss?
Alcohol.
We showed up.
We should have asked if we could swear.
Yeah, we don't know.
We
I don't
won't.
know how we won't anymore.
Who's to say?
Yeah, but then I met Naomi and I told Naomi like I wanted to. What did I say? Like wanted to make your skin into a mask.
She was being friendly, but in a way that really threw me off.
I was kind
I
of
was like,
heartbroken
I don't
because
know.
I wanted y'all to be friends.
And then
We did.
become friends.
We became friends in our own time.
I know, but after that night, I thought maybe it wasn't going to happen.
Well,
And then they did. And then they wanted to jam together
because we were in love.
because they were in love and they like found out. Well, you heard Naomi playing guitar, right?
yeah, and I was like, dude.
I know. And then I was like, wait a second. I would like to be involved. So I came to their jam session with my little
Cracked open
with my
your
MIDI keyboard. I said, I would like to show you Ableton Live.
Katie was always down to business. I don't even know what I feel like from that moment, it's like
I whipped
that's
you
when
into
the
shape.
contract actually was dropped.
I know. You didn't even know.
I didn't.
So from that point to it becoming your actual life, what was that transition like? Like when were you delusional about it? Were you immediately like, this is my job? Or were you like, when you guys started doing stuff that you thought was awesome, were you like, this is my
Delusional.
life
They're
and job?
Capricorns.
Delusional.
They're Capricorns. They were.
We were dating at
Working
the time, and
9
then as
to
soon as we
5.
started Muna, we were like, we're business partners.
We'd be at home late at night emailing.
Yeah.
Literally, we
but
emailed
yes.
like thousands of blogs and shit at the time. Like actually, probably thousands.
I think from the first show, like, because we were still in school, and so we played at like the venue on campus, and we played some parties, and when I think when people actually came to the shows and seemed excited by what we were doing, I knew like this is like the best chance I have at like making this my life. So
Totally.
I invested time in it, and then a couple months after we started, we spent a summer in Brooklyn, and we worked on like 2 songs for that whole summer. Yeah. And it's funny because the times, like, I look back now and I think that was such a creatively fruitful time, and it was like a seed of what we became. But I know actually at the time I was so depressed that whole summer and like didn't know what I was doing and wasn't sure if it was gonna work out. But yeah, so we made a couple songs that summer. And
That's when I
then-
was learning Ableton.
Yeah, you learned how to produce that summer and then quickly became like much better than me and yeah,
Thank
greatest producer.
Thank you.
In
thank
the
you,
world.
Thank you. It's not true, but thank you.
Naomi, you do this thing where this is for music nerds only, but you accentuate the two after the chorus or,
Yeah,
or
totally.
like into
Yeah.
the bridge.
That feels so good.
It's
I feel
like
like
a slingshot, like it'll be like 1, 2, like
yeah,
into
I
the
love a
whole-
2 hit. It just feels good
It happens on Silk.
to subvert. Yeah,
It does. And it's in the bridge for Home by Now that
Yeah.
everybody likes.
Ugh.
Everybody likes that part.
That's a fun one. Yeah, that's a fun one. I like there's some good. I'm trying to think of other people that do that.
Feels kind of emo, even though I don't. Know
It's
that
kind of
is.
it can be kind of R&B though too.
Yeah.
I feel like Neo. Well, that's
Yeah.
actually the 3.
Yeah, but that song's crazy.
Yeah, that's on
What song is
Girlfriend.
that?
Girlfriend.
So good.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
You guys, you have famously epic bridges.
That's Katie,
Yeah.
man.
That's sick.
Bridge queen.
What are your favorite bridges of your own and also of others?
Oh my God.
I don't know any other songs.
I'm familiar with our catalog, and that's it.
I love the bridge for "Wait It Out" by Imogen Heap.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the
My mom
best
just said,
ever.
"Yeah." I mean, thank you for Imogen. My mom
Ooh,
loves
it's so
Imogen.
good. I'm thinking about it now.
City coast will be long gone by then. So good. And I feel like I did learn the art of the bridge somewhat from her. And yeah, Muna bridges, I like. We were talking about the Winter Break Bridge earlier today. I like that bridge. Again, really music nerdy, but that I was saying that like the songs that I wrote like freshly out of music school, it's like that bridge changes keys, but like in a pretty subtle way. And I'm like, I don't think I could do that now because I forgot everything I learned in music school. So yeah, I like that bridge.
Stay away.
Oh
Yeah, stay away.
Yeah. God. Oh God.
Yeah, stay away.
Yeah. Bane of my existence, but
The Bane. Yeah, that makes sense.
You mean because of the note?
yeah.
That song.
Yeah.
That
Big
song.
note.
Oh,
That
it's so-
song. The song has such a. It's a mountain.
You know when you're filming a concert and at the time you can't hear your own voice because the concert is happening, and then you watch your video back and you're going, so I can stay away.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite thing about like watching my family's videos of the concerts. They have a good time. At least I know that.
Does that exist for you? Do you have that
Yes.
video? That's really funny.
No, I used to just like post straight to stories.
Yeah. Iconic.
And then I learned.
That's tight.
No, go back to being free. Don't go back to now.
Well, this is your self-titled album.
Yes.
And also happy 3-year anniversary, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Saves the World came out 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And Silk was released tomorrow, a year ago, I believe. It's
Crazy.
Yes.
The time.
So crazy.
Time passing.
It does.
We love it. But what does self-titled mean to you guys? Was there like a reason you picked it and why you haven't in the past?
I think we all have different reasons. I just feel like we did so much work. We did so much more work than I feel like we've ever done before. And also, it's just like, to be honest, we really couldn't agree on a name other than Muna.
It felt kind of cheeky to do, like in the sense that, like the body of work is kind of like disparate in terms of the sound, and songs next to each other will like contradict each other lyrically even, and we were like, that's just kind of fun to say like this is this, and then you leave it kind of having no idea what this is, and it's like, see, everything's made up. Yeah, it's very postmodern. I don't know. That's kind of. I just thought it was fun. Like it was a fun title to give it. Ultimately, like, yeah.
My turn.
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
I feel like the only thing I could add is maybe from a lyrical perspective, it made sense that this would be the self-titled because it just felt like the most self-assured that we've been as a band, and you can hear that I think on the record.
Totally.
Yeah.
Sick. Also, Silk is officially your most listened to song as of now.
Thank
That
you
would
for
make
that.
sense.
Yeah. Thank you, Papa.
That I asked that. Excuse me. Let me look at my notes. Bridges asked that.
That is so crazy.
What that Silk is?
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
Well, yeah. I mean, I remember when, because I think when we opened for you that September,
Yeah.
we were still playing I Know a Place last in the set, and then that's like always a big moment when you realize like we gotta put another song last.
So sick.
Yeah.
It's definitely cool.
Yeah.
It's also just like cool seeing like the different fan reaction to a newer song and a older song that they're like not sure you're gonna play.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like they're like, ooh, are they gonna not play that because the self-title just came out? And just watching people like literally scream and cry and shake when you play I Know a Place. Do you want to talk
You're
about?
so cute too because you are backstage. You know you don't have to watch every.
I know.
No, it's part of it's part of the contract.
I started to be like, does she feel obligated? Because like you are backstage for the entire set.
There are like 18 videos of me like thinking I'm not being perceived.
It
like,
also doesn't sound good. That's my tea. I'm like, you're just hearing so
From the
much
side of the
drums.
stage.
yeah. I sneak
actually
my
do
in-ear
sound
in a
great.
little early.
Yeah. Shout out to Sarab.
Shout out to Sarah.
I sneak an ear in a little early so I can hear something.
Oh,
but yeah,
clever.
you're right.
Clever.
You're right. I should just stand in the crowd, like, be in the front row.
Mod. I think front row in the pit.
Yeah,
In the photo
Mosh.
pit.
At
Yeah.
your own show. Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about Solid?
Sure.
Do you remember what
Yeah.
happened when I came to the studio and you showed me Solid?
We were
I
probably
remember.
manically crazy because you were like the first person we'd seen out of
No,
who
I
wasn't
remember
the
what
three
Katie
of us.
said. Katie said
Are you
something
talking
about
about
the
Salad?
song.
You said, "What does it sound like I'm saying?"
Oh yeah. Yeah. We're gonna ruin the song
I was
for
like,
a few
Solid.
people.
And you're like, "Not like salad."
Yeah.
And then you re-recorded it.
I know. I
make
re-recorded
it
that
sound
song.
less
we
like-
re-recorded
so
that
many
3 times.
Yeah.
And it was good that we did.
I know, because it did sound like
salad.
my baby's a salad.
I
I
feel like
couldn't get it in the right place in my nose. I don't know. I have an amazing voice teacher, and he's always talking about like your bones in your face. It's like you talk about the creepiest stuff to sing.
I
He's
don't want to
like,
think about. It's not my business. The bones in my face.
yeah, I know. I don't really want to think about that or be aware
it
that
isn't
that
my
exists.
business.
Yeah. But that was like the way that I was hitting the note for a while. I had to like resonate a certain vowel sound. He also like, yeah, he does this funny thing where you rewrite a song. He calls it Singlish instead of English.
Instead of Simlish.
Let me break this down.
I thought she was gonna say that.
It's a play on the word,
gonna say that.
but singing in front of it.
Yeah. But I think I was like using that vowel sound, and then I just couldn't sing it in any other way. I'm grateful that we re-recorded it so many times.
Oh, what
Yeah.
are your favorite misheard Muna lyrics?
I hate all
Silk.
the misheard ones. And everyone needs to get it together and go to genius.com and get it right.
But don't.
Stop mouthing the wrong lyric to me. I'm trying to correct you by
To be
singing it
honest,
back right.
To be honest, I like it in a funny way. I'm just like, go for it.
I like.
I mean, live your life, obviously.
in
but-
number one fan is probably the
Oh,
most
yeah.
misheard.
no, Silk.
Oh,
bridge.
Oh yeah,
That is the number
But
one most.
number one fan.
Yeah.
Who I
Who I
wanna
wanna
be.
be.
Wanna be.
But
is what
that's
it would
kind of
be.
understandable, and in a way, it's like almost like a punch up of. I'm like, that's good too. But
Why wouldn't it be makes sense?
But the
Let's
one
stick
I'm
with
thinking
that.
about in number one fan is
Yeah.
so iconic, like Big Bird Stan.
Someone's
Like
message
a lot
today.
of people thought it was that.
Someone messaged today saying that they thought they were like, I knew that it was "Oh my God" like, which is the original thing that I was correcting because some people think it's "Babe."
Oh, people thought Babe,
which
yeah.
is it's
Some
not.
people here thought Babe.
Don't be
lie.
ashamed.
Accusations.
But someone said, but I did think it was Big Bird Standard.
Big Bird Standard. That's what
Big
it was.
Bird
I gotta
Standard.
say, yeah.
And it's like, what
is that?
What did
The
that
thing
mean
is-
to you in your head?
I love that people thought that's what
God
Katie
bless.
was meaning, though.
That's
It's
my,
like,
that actually is my
Big
favorite. That's
Bird.
my favorite. I take it back.
Yeah, that's
That's
definitely
my
the
favorite
best.
because that is so fun.
Big Bird.
It's so drawn out to be saying that.
What
Big
Bird
Standard.
When,
The thing that sucks is
awesome.
that now that we've mentioned it,
everyone's
like,
gonna hear it.
That's gonna be.
People are gonna make signs
My
and stuff.
my
It's
question
gonna be a
is,
whole thing.
do you see Big Bird like the yellow Big Bird, or do you just see a big bird?
I'm seeing yellow Big
Yeah.
Bird.
Yeah, me too.
That's
Yeah,
the
Big Bird.
That's
I just
the
wanted to
only Big
clarify.
Bird.
Big
Yeah.
Bird.
Because
The Big
so
Bird
iconic.
Standard, if you're familiar.
Yeah, well,
so
yeah,
iconic, like
so
the Big Bird
iconic.
Standard.
I'm sorry. I am so dumb.
Like Big Bird Standard.
Of course.
Duh. Anyway,
Okay. Also tell me about the horse. How did the
yeah.
horse come to us?
What do you mean? What?
Katie, are we talking about anything but me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you mean the horse?
Katie just wrote
like
that
where
line.
were you
Oh,
in
the
the
horse.
world?
What were you just thinking?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I kept thinking about people bringing horses to the shows, and I was like, to inflatable horses. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Someone
Well, that
just
did
decided to
happen.
bring it.
I wrote that song in my car, and I think it just came from. Honestly, I think it partially came from Casey Musgraves because we love that song "High Horse."
Yeah.
Who
And
doesn't?
Who doesn't?
A hit.
But it was like genuinely, I don't know. I was just in a situation where, like, I wasn't talking to my ex, but I thought if we were talking, then she would probably say that I was on a high horse, and
And that would be your rebuttal in
and
rhyme.
that would be my rebuttal. And then I was like, "That's so stupid. Like, that's so stupid, but it is possibly brilliant."
And that is Muna, I would say. That is this record.
I think we've freed ourselves to like do that a lot more. Where if something like makes me laugh, or I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't even really get what this is. Like, that was the same with the pre-chorus in Silk. I was like, this is really silly, but like, also I like it. So
You do that in production too, like
Silly stuff.
you know, like in
Yeah.
Hands Off when it's like do you want the chorus again? Or
Yeah.
like you're clearly having so much fun with each other, like
Yeah.
making each other laugh, and then that's enough of an audience to be
Totally.
like, this
Exactly.
people are gonna like it.
We like
Yeah.
a gag, or we like to accentuate words to make a little gag.
Yeah.
What? Me? I know.
Pause.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Speaking of making yourselves laugh, you have both a kiss and a whisper on No Idea.
Sexy,
Is that
sexy.
stuff funny to do with your friends? Like in the studio, like have you gotten to the level of comfortability with each other where you do something? Because I hate even hearing like a vocal back in the like isolated.
I know. How
It's
do
my-
you approach if you have like sexy moments on a record? I guess.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean sexy moments? I'll let you know, Katie.
Oh my God! Yeah.
We'll come and
fair
listen
enough.
while you do it to make you feel very comfortable and safe.
The kiss is a sample, isn't it?
The kiss is a sample, but the whisper is not.
Yeah.
Kiss isn't real.
No. Well, the kiss is
is-
real.
it is
The kiss
As
is
you were
real.
saying
It's
that, I
just
was
not
like,
one of
"Don't say
ours. Well, I mean, like what?
It's hard to get
It's a perfect kiss.
It's hard to get a kiss sound that isn't like if you're tracking
Disgusting?
it yourself. Yeah, it can sound quite spitty. So we searched for a good one and found it.
I'm trying to
And
think
used it.
about moments like recording stuff. The only thing that can happen, it's not really like with funny things like that.
You can get like not upset, but like a little.
That's what I was gonna say. If I'm doing vocal takes and they are in the room, it's like, and I'm not doing as good as I want to do, I'll get mad at them. Like, you guys are not letting me focus. It's like,
Recording What I Want, I think, was like it was as though we made you run a marathon without any sort of like preparation. You know,
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
was
any of us knew
furious.
how hard that was gonna be.
I was furious recording that song, and you could hear it on the track. And,
yeah, it
but
came
I
out
think
great.
I think it made it better. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It did.
Yeah. But I was like, fuck this song. Who wrote this?
The psychological
hard,
torture. That's the thing about singing. You got to go to some really negative places, I feel like, at times, because it's so much harder than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, like, I mean,
agree.
to be able to do it. To be able to do it. Yes.
Yeah, it's really hard.
It's really hard.
You guys made a lot of this over COVID.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And I just like personally, I had so many times where I was like in a goofy costume, like filming myself doing something and being like, "What am I doing?"
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then I had moments of like, "Oh, like I'm doing the thing that I love, and it doesn't matter who's looking at it."
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if you guys had like moments in recording where you're like, "This is fucking sick," and like didn't. Am I allowed to cuss? I actually have no idea.
I
This is freaking sick.
we keep making the air.
And just like reminded you what you love about being in a band.
I feel like those moments happen like, and you kind of have to like hang on to that energy when stuff gets rugged and hard and like, yeah, when you're doing it the way we were doing it, it was like a 24-hour a day situation because like we were doing absolutely everything and it was grueling and gnarly. But every once in a while, I remember like the one that comes to mind, probably because it's literally just chronologically the most recent one, in terms of like when we finished the record, was we'd had a demo of Loose Garment that was very different, and it had been kicking around for like 5 months, maybe even longer than that. And we were like, you know, not sure if it should be on the record and like not sold on what it was feeling like, and I wasn't feeling very inspired by where it was. And then I like listened to a song that a Madonna song that Guy Sigsworth produced called "What It Feels Like for a Girl," if you're familiar with that song. So it's an amazing song. And I just knew from the sound, I was like, Guy Sigsworth did this. I know it for sure. He did a lot of he did the Frou Frou stuff and a bunch of stuff with Imogen. And then we were kind of like, oh, we should like try and, this song has that like, that super like melancholy kind of tender feeling, and it felt like it could, you know, be pushed a little bit more in that direction, and it was so fun to figure out. Like,
Yeah.
I just remember I got like obsessed with making this synth pattern one night, and like then we just kind of we like flushed it out, and it started feeling really good and really exciting. And
The thing
that's such a nice thing when
Yeah.
that happens and you get surprised by like something, you know, turning around. But there are certain songs that are, you know, from the moment that you're making it, you're like, this is tight.
For sure.
But
that
yeah.
helped us find new tools too. It's like you find something and you're like, oh, this is how come like on that song it sounds like that, and that I think really influenced like how we came up with the synth patch, and then like knowing that now we have a whole like new arsenal of tools based on like this one song, and I think it's nice to like find music like that because it just expands like your repertoire as like a musician and really helps you like figure out how to do things. We did that on so many songs. Like when we did Kinda Girl, that was really fun. Like it wasn't necessarily listening to a song, but getting a new toy and just like having fun and not actually like caring about the result, but just trying something to try it kind of.
What was your favorite thing to track on that song?
On Kinda Girl?
Yeah.
We spent, that was like maybe the most labor intensive like music recording day I think we've had like on just like one thing. Like we spent all day recording acoustic guitars where we don't have a lot of gear, but we asked like a bunch of people, including Marshall, I think. Oh, or Marshall gave us a guitar later, but we had a bunch of people give us some like acoustic guitars, and then we had like a shootout, and like Naomi ended up like recording one of the acoustic guitars. Like we made a tape pick where it's like we didn't like how it sounded we kept debating if we liked it with their hands or like with a pick, and then we came up with like a middle ground of like doing a tape pick. That was a fun day.
Yeah.
And it's just like we were really in the weeds doing that, and just it was just fun.
And a lot of that was with Gio, who
Yeah.
plays bass with us, and I think it was like just seeing you guys build like the landscape of that, and just how much care was going into all those choices.
It's fun when you track vocals though too.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes being in the booth when you're tracking vocals, it's like, because you can't hear us, we can just be like, God, that was so cool, or like
That was a good one too, because this
that was rad.
the spirit was hitting me.
Yeah.
That
Tracking-
song had the spirit.
Yeah, that one just from beginning to end was like so obvious what it should be, and then you just like put the pieces together because you can already see them all.
I was gonna bring up Marshall actually. Where's Marsh?
Marshy.
What if Marshall
I was
actually
like
didn't
bring him up
watch?
in conversation.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Marsh. All right. Anyway, I like having an ex partner in my band is like, I feel like a unique joy of my life because there's just this like extra layer of bullshit or like walking on eggshells that I would have to implement with other collaborators.
Yeah.
And there's just like this immediacy to having been so close to somebody for so long and also surviving a breakup together that I feel like makes us the perfect collaborators, because also like if you write something I don't like, I'm like, that's so dumb. And it's not like a you're a stupid person.
Yeah.
It's like a I love you, you're so good.
Yeah.
You had a stupid idea and that is funny to me.
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And and he does the same thing. Like
Sure.
I'll send him something that he doesn't love and he'll just be like, what's your next idea?
Yeah.
And I don't have like a lot of people like that.
That is funny, because that's exactly how they respond. I think if you guys don't like something, it'll be like, "What's
I'll be like,
next?"
or it's
We'll be like, that's awesome.
Yeah, there is like a translation. It's a little bit like
No,
if you say
sometimes it
like,
is and
"I like
sometimes it
this,"
isn't.
I'm like, they fucking hate that.
well, I do
Really?
like
Yeah.
it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Are there other ways that you feel like that helps or does not help
the
collaboratively?
project.
Yeah.
I think that it's funny because it's like we've been working as a throuple for so many years. I think I relate to a lot of what you said about like there's an immediacy, and I think going through the shift that we went through, like really as the three of us, like when the breakup happened, made the band a lot stronger. And I do feel that we talk to it's funny because we talk to each other in a different way
You talk nicer
now than we used to.
No.
I still think, would you say that we still
y'all
we're more brutal with each
Yeah.
other?
Well,
We
I
maybe
won't.
than we
I
are
won't.
with you.
I won't
Accept it.
No.
Yeah, I know that.
We have our own like shit.
It's like
I feel
almost
like.
sibling in
It
a
feels.
way.
It does
Yeah.
feel that way.
Not to make it weirder.
I know.
No,
do y'all
but
feel
no,
like that a
I
little
feel
bit?
the same way.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, I don't know. Like my tier of aloneness is like I'm gonna go on a walk by myself because I feel shy on tour, and then I'm like, is Marshall up?
Right.
Yeah,
know.
yeah, totally.
It's like just like a level of comfortability.
Definitely.
Naomi
Like
and I
any
are like that
any
normally.
beverage of Katie's is mine.
Well, that's
That's a
Like
specific thing to you.
That's what
that's specific.
I've held on to.
That's
No, I feel the
specific
same
to
way.
you.
No, like if you're eating something, that's mine too. If I want it.
And like Marshall's girlfriend Ruby, I will have to like reach over to grab the LaCroix that is Marshall's.
Yeah.
You know, like I love that. It's great.
Yeah,
I'm sure
no.
everyone loves it.
Yeah, everyone is crazy about it. I think it definitely just like leads to a quicker. I mean, you just have like a vulnerability shortcut with someone, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't need. Yeah, it's like you're saying. Like there's just a layer of like artifice and politeness and bullshit that doesn't need to like be present in those moments. Like we can definitely like be hard on each other, I think sometimes, but also like I don't know, I feel like it makes our relationship like so nice as well, like on the other side. I feel like we're like, I don't know, I feel very protected and safe and supported. Stop. But yeah, that's like yeah, we just joke about it now. I feel like sometimes
we dated.
Yeah, because sometimes people are like, "Wow, really?" And
It
it's
was
like,
so
The
long
thing I
ago.
think is
dude.
funny is that everybody thinks that it was me and Josette.
It's because of our undeniable chemistry.
Yeah.
I like it was me and Naomi actually.
Yeah.
Let's spread lies tonight.
Well,
Well,
we
starting
Spread
tonight.
lies tonight.
Everybody leaving this room say something different.
I think
Yeah.
that
From now
I think maybe the band would get
And say it to
stronger and
4 people.
stronger
Yeah.
if we just Fleetwood Mac'd a bit more.
Yes.
Fleetwood Mackin on each other.
Fleetwood.
Each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
No,
Um,
but I do think there's something really fascinating just to say one more thing about that having a sense of what you can survive together in a relationship
Totally.
that
Totally.
makes it easier to collaborate.
That's the whole project at this point.
And to be earnest.
yeah.
Like I feel like both we can give each other shit and be like super sincere with each other, Marsh and
Totally.
I, which I have a really hard time with in general.
Yeah, yeah.
How have shows been since the self-titled album came out, as opposed to before? Good. Yeah. Okay. Great. All right. Thanks,
No,
everybody.
Thanks so much. They've been amazing. They've
Yeah.
been like so wild.
It's been interesting. It's just funny. No shade to like any of our old records, but it's just funny that the fans are shady about our old records.
And also, it's just a lot of new people, which
fans.
is so
Yeah.
awesome. And like they might
That's what
only
you
be,
want.
Totally. They're like very familiar with the most recent stuff
Yeah.
and not as familiar with the older stuff, which to me
Oh,
and
it's
to
a
all
win.
of us feels like such
Yeah.
a win. Like there's so many new people in the crowd who had never been to a show before of ours, and we're used to like. We've been doing this for a long time and we've been grinding and like we have seen a lot of the same faces at a lot of our shows.
Yeah.
Like we recognize so many of the people and then these shows it's like, oh, I don't know any of y'all. And also some
Yeah.
of you are 12, which is awesome.
We've been playing
that's
shows
rad.
and people are young at the all ages shows and
So
it is the
cool.
coolest thing. It is the coolest thing.
Because you just remember how I remember how like going to a show felt when I was that young. It was like the coolest thing in the entire world. So it's so rad that like people, want to come see us play.
Yeah, I'm excited for the second leg of this North
Yeah,
American
for sure.
tour. And I feel like it's also important for us to just take in that how rare it is to have this opportunity to, like, the fact that we're touring now and people do want to hear the songs on the new album and
Yeah.
sometimes more than they want to hear the old shit. Like, that doesn't happen for everybody.
It doesn't.
So it's really, like, such a blessing. And
Especially for it to be immediate. Like,
Yeah.
I feel
Totally.
like
Yeah.
my situation with COVID was like my album had been out for like so long by the time I went on tour. But I feel like you guys had that immediacy from like the second day that the record was out.
yeah.
In a
mean,
live
even-
setting.
Even with Silk, like we were on a plane flying out to play those shows with you when that song came out. And like the next day played it live for the first time and people were like going nuts for it. And we were just like, this is absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah.
So it's been very like humbling and cool to have the experiences that we've had playing the shows for sure.
And just to know that, I mean, we've had like this core group of people that believe in us and have supported us for so long, like the people we tour with, our manager, like, and who have told us even through like the twists and turns of our career that, things will continue to like grow and get better at the pace that it's meant to. And I think depending on our mental health, we believe them or we don't.
Well, it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, it's been a long ride, and it's really crazy. I'm thinking about. I said this when we sound checked that I went to Grammy camp when I was like, 15 or 16. Shout out to the Grammy Foundation. But I was like, I performed on this stage like 15 years ago or something like that, and it's just really cute because if you do like continue to. I always thought that was like really kitsch when people are like, oh, just don't quit. Just like keep trying different things and the right people who believe in you will.
Well, because also
come
the
through.
people who say that and have the platform to say it are the ones who are right about themselves.
Yeah.
I've always hated that. Like, you don't
Fair
hear "don't
enough.
quit" from someone who like didn't quit and then they
And now
gave up
doesn't need to.
eventually.
Yeah.
Right. Like you hear "Don't Quit" from someone who was affirmed in that.
Yeah.
I've always hated that about like
Yes.
self-help
Fuck.
and stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like, oh, the person who wrote a book about success, like a lot of it is chance. Anyway,
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
it's 100% chance that you're here. No, but I also believe it.
Yeah.
I also believe like if you're by yourself and like we were talking about songwriting earlier, when you get the spirit in you, and you're like you're alone having a completely fulfilled experience. Like when does that happen ever? You know what I mean? Like it's only really happening when I'm like distracting myself in some way. So I feel like Don't Give Up is great. Don't give up.
Next album title.
Don't give up.
We are running out of time, but I want to do 3 rapid fire questions from fans on the internet.
Oh,
Wow.
let's do it.
Savior Complex 94, nice, asks,
Absolutely iconic.
as you've grown as artists, have the meanings of any of your old songs changed to you?
I feel like the meaning changes because you just live a life and you get older and like your perspective changes on things. And I don't know. I had an experience like earlier this year where I listened to the first record, like for the first time in years, many, many years. And it was fun to listen back and be like, oh, I remember being the person that like made this choice or like, you know, I remember like where I was when we were working on Crying on the Bathroom Floor, like, and we had speakers set up on the ground at, you know, what's her name's house and like doing you just have all these memories about like the way that you did things and how much has changed. And I don't know, that's I guess more where I have a perspective in terms of like the lyrical
making it
meaning
becomes what it's about
yes,
now, or the
yes.
tour or something.
Yeah, totally.
I was
Like you have
gonna
core
say
memories about that stuff.
with Crying on the Bathroom Floor that I don't necessarily feel that the meaning changes, but I do experience this like interesting time bending thing where it kind of feels like I'm hearing from myself from the past, you know?
Totally.
So you have this like, I think about accountability with songwriting a lot and how like my past self, I have to be accountable to that because I'm hearing from her and I'm like, oh yeah, that's
Like
what
if you're
that
in
was
the same place mentally now, and then looking back and writing, it can be exhausting, and you're like,
Yeah.
damn, have I not
right.
changed?
Yeah,
Yeah, but there's so much change on this album in the coolest way. It feels like almost like a call and response to lots of shit on Saves the World and stuff, where it's like the more just adjusted, or the person striving for being adjusted.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, I don't want to be this guy. We're out of time, but we are going to move the questions to the room. Who's got a question? All right in the front.
Hi. Oh, you're killing it.
But my question for you, and it's kind of like goes through both ways, but for the band, like Tiny Graffiti's label, how has that influenced the way you make music, if anything at all? Is there like certain pressure? Like how was that transition? I hear like going from a bigger label to like, you know, a smaller label, like you're a big fish in a small pond now, or like, yeah, and then like, whereas like being a like little fish in a big pond, and then Phoebe as well, like how do you feel about the artist you signed to your label, and what do you hope they get from it?
Yeah, the question was about moving from a major label to an indie label, and I signed them because they're my favorite band. So that's it.
That's so nice.
I would say that I feel like we felt in signing to Status that we had the chance to function in a way that suits us really well as a band. We do make pop music, or we make a bunch of different genres of music, I guess is more better way to express it. But we function in this alternative world where we're doing a lot of it ourselves. And so I think that there was moments like we had conversations where we were like, where's the critique like of the songs? and we were expecting like, I think we were surprised by how much freedom actually we had to just make whatever record we wanted to make.
I might have critiqued it if it was not good. You know, like I was just like, oh damn.
Yeah, but I think the biggest feeling is like just honestly one of gratitude. I do feel like, not to be like, I'm gonna take the moment and just be cheesy. You did change our lives. Like it really made a huge difference.
Now look at us.
It just feels so
It's
good
true.
to be like, you understand us as a band and as people, and it made a big difference, I think, to how we move in the world. So thank you. Seriously, thank you.
Thank you guys. It's been the greatest joy of my life. For real. Like I was like listening to Muna in the car on the way here, which I rarely allow myself to these days because
you're
like I
side
rarely
staged,
allow myself to listen to Muna in the past like 6 months or whatever. And just I was just like completely blasting it like an idiot, being like, damn, this I'm involved in this thing. That's crazy. Anyway, any more questions? Yes.
Wow.
Hot Mom's shirt. Hello.
What song are you guys like proudest of off of the new record?
Oh man.
Kind of Girl, maybe?
Yeah, and also there's like songs to feel proud of that we even finished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm shook that we finished No Idea and that it turned out well. Like by the time we were turning, that was the last song that we turned in, and we weren't sure we were gonna put it on the record because we took this down. Like I don't think we've ever taken something down to the wire. Like we took this record down to the wire, and before we were getting it mixed, we're like, I don't know about this. And then when we got the mix back, we're like, oh, this actually slaps. And then, yeah, we did it.
You do that? Do you do that too thing on No Idea also? You have no idea. No, that's the one, huh?
No,
Oh,
one time.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, being called out now. Now I
Yeah.
feel like
So
I need to
sick.
switch it up.
No, because that's how you're gonna make that your trademark.
That's like
the
my Pharrell, like
thing.
bunts, bunts,
Yeah.
bunts, bunts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. Okay, never mind.
Back there? Yes, hello. Yeah.
Mona as a whole, what were your thoughts on meeting Phoebe for the first time and vice versa?
We met at the Satellite, right? No, not Satellite. What's
Bootleg.
Bootleg?
Yeah.
We
Because
met
I
at the
came to the
Bootleg.
daytime show
Yeah,
right before COVID.
Yeah.
So cool.
We
It was a
just
great
thought
show.
we were just. I feel like we were just chatting shit with you and Marshall, and like it was just fun. And I was like, Phoebe's cool. Like,
I remember you guys being so gelled, like as performers, like you can tell when people have been playing together for a long time, just being like, damn, this like acoustic set right now is like blowing everything I've seen out of the water for so
Damn.
long. You know?
that's very nice. Well,
I don't really remember.
I don't remember.
Thanks. All right.
I remember
not
at
in
the
that
studio.
way.
I remember at the studio when you came to listen to songs, and I remember after we were like, well, we just overwhelmed her based on our energy.
I don't think I'd seen anybody in like 5
No,
days,
we
so
were
I
like
felt
the
like an
first
energy
person.
vampire.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
speak.
And we were really giving.
All right.
Sick.
So I know that you all have pretty large like queer fan bases, which is something that's really important to me. And I was wondering if any of you have any advice or anything you wish you could say to like your past self or to anyone who's struggling right now or in the future.
My past self, I would tell her that she's gay.
You gay. Save a lot of time.
It's the basic stuff. Like I was like 3 or 4 years into touring with Muna in some country. I think we were in Germany, and I remember like getting out of the shower. It was one of the rare days that I had a hotel room to myself.
Oh, I was like, I don't remember this.
I know, I know.
Because we weren't there.
Yeah.
You would have thought it was
Well-
weird if you had overheard it, but I literally got out of the shower, I looked in the mirror, and I go, it's okay if you're gay. And I'm like 27. And I'm,
No, you
and
were
I'm
younger
the
than
lead
that.
singer
Give
of
yourself
Muna,
credit.
and I have been for quite some time at that point. But it's the basic stuff, you know, like it's the stuff that you don't want to do, like saying that to yourself in the mirror or, you know, hugging yourself. We were also talking earlier today about the importance of like stressing. Like my truth is that I have had more moments of joy like once I decided to come out and just live more honestly, like integrate that into my social life, you know. And I think there's a lot of just harmful dissemination of like a messaging that your life is going to be harder, and in a lot of ways that is true, like in the political climate that we're in, or depending on what country you're in, or like if you have access to safe housing. But I think it's really important to also like shine a light on the narrative of like you can also have much like needed joy in your life if you give yourself the chance to be out. I don't know. And work with other queer people.
Yeah.
If you're creative, definitely. If you have the chance.
That's a great answer.
So like, if you could play like any venue, like in the world, like what's your dream venue?
Oh, I'll answer. Stop trying to answer. I want to play the Hollywood Bowl. Like, yeah. I'm from LA, you know.
Is that your dream? What's your dream?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
The bowl? Yeah.
Yeah,
The bowl's sick.
Bowl's sick.
You can sit.
Yeah, you can
Let's
eat.
do it.
You can order. You can eat food there. That's maybe the sickest part.
Yeah, you can dance while people are eating cheese in front of
Absolutely.
you.
That's going to go hard.
Iconic.
What about, do you have one, Katie? No. No. Katie doesn't care.
Katie doesn't care.
She's happy to be here.
You can go ahead.
No.
Riffing?
Well, I was just gonna say, hear me. Naomi, I guess this is mainly for you. You were talking about how, influences in production and having a signature sound and stuff. I personally think you are one of the greatest producers that is working right now.
Speak on
That's
it.
very nice.
Speak on
Thank
it.
you.
And you can hear it through all 3 albums that you have a signature sound. And there's so many interesting things that you put into these songs that I listen to them over and over and I'm like, how did they do, like, that's amazing. So my question was, for this record, what was the most interesting thing that you put in production-wise? Or like something that you came up with that made it to a final song that you're just like, I love that. Like that, I want people to hear that. Or, that's my question. Is like,
That's a good question. I mean, some of my favorite things are like things that were not my ideas. So there's definitely like a good amount of that. It is super like with all of our stuff that we're doing that makes the record like it is very collaborative. I just happen to be sitting at the computer, so that just is, part of what I do. But I don't know. I think some of the stuff that I have the most fun doing is like I'm not a good drummer, but I love writing drum parts. So a lot of my favorite days to like that I remember in the studio were like moments of, writing drum parts and getting excited about that, like in Anything But Me. Like I remember having so much fun finding sounds for that. And like that's the kind of stuff that like I'll geek out over. I really liked the vocal sample, the chopped vocal sample pattern at the beginning of Home by Now. I've talked about this before. That was like a crazy like late night moment for me of like, I have an idea and I'm gonna try and see if I can make it happen. It's the same thing with songwriting. Sometimes you're just like you can be like going for like weeks and months without any creative inspiration at all, and you have to kind of like force it, but it doesn't feel good to do that. But when you get a moment of like, oh, I have an idea, and then you kind of like have to go do it. That is a really good feeling. There's plenty of moments on the record that feel that way, but those are just like, you know, the synth pattern with the tape stopping, kind of like how, you know, that line is like interrupted by tape stops. I had fun like fiddling with that. There's plenty of like fun moments on the record that like, you know, made me feel like I was onto something. But your compliment is very nice. I don't agree with it at this point. At this point, but I'll work on it. Thank you. Like, yeah, that means a lot, and I'm glad that people like that stuff. So, thank you.
Green in the back.
Not a dumb question. Someone else.
Will we tell you the answer?
Remains to be seen. It keeps you up.
The thing is that it's like, I don't want to say it because it's kind of a dumb answer.
It's folklore.
Yeah. So we had some songs that we wanted to put out from. We were in school. We had been making music together, and we didn't have a band name. And similar to how we had finished this album and didn't have an album name. And we just, the only thing I could compare it to was when my family first got a dog, and we just spent like hours and hours just throwing shit out. You know, like that was how it happened. We were just like, what about this? What about that? And then we don't really know how Muna actually happened in the moment, but somebody said Luna, and then someone said Muna. And that's how it happened. I think we liked that it had this kind of like feminine planet energy to us. We didn't know like what it meant, but then later we found out that it means a bunch of things in a bunch of different languages, and in some cultures it's a really popular name. The best one is that it means egg in Finnish. But there's more.
Phallus.
It's a slang term for dick in Finnish, so it's like all caps, like
that doesn't
egg,
make any sense.
egg dick.
I don't know.
Finnish people have made sure that we know that.
Yeah. And if you scroll on our YouTube videos like for long enough, you will find a comment that's like, haha, I am from Finland. And I don't know why I just did that accent.
That's what I'm
Sorry. I don't
saying.
know what a Finnish accent is. Sorry.
If Finland's even real.
I believe it is now time for music to be made.
Let's do it.
Thank you guys.
So do we like leave and come
Yeah.
back? Is that what happens?
Apparently
okay, cool.
we leave
All right,
and come
bye.
back.
Bye.
Give it up for Muna, everybody. See you in a sec.